everyone. Thank you for joining me again. My name is Annabelle. And I will be doing the polymer clay. Last week, I did the donuts, and going to continue with the sweets series. Some of the comments last week have been very helpful. Someone, I think Christina was the one that suggested, why don't I make cupcakes? So that will be next week. This week I will be making soft serve ice cream and ice cream. So I will show you how I make that, and this is going to be a long-term project. Okay, it's going to be over 4 or 5 weeks because I want to make charms for a bracelet. So I will be showing you how I'm going to do that. Oh, hi Alice. Okay, if there are any comments, please feel free again to type your comments in there, or you have any questions, and I'll answer along the way. And please also like our Upsphere page, and please also make sure if you did any projects or you would like to share pictures about polymer clay, please do hashtag us as well. So hashtag Upsphere. So I will begin today. Okay, so before that, I would like to just say thanks to my husband. He is helping in the background, and Jiajun as well. And I will begin. So I hope everyone has been doing pretty well recently. I just went to, yesterday I went to Universal Studios because it was a holiday and I had a lot of fun. But I will be showing, and I actually got to see a lot of things out there, which I also felt that it was a while since I had gone out like for a full day. So that was a lot of fun. Okay, before I go into too much detail or go off a tangent, okay, I will just show you what we will need for today. All right, so maybe Opa, if you can help me zoom in on the colors so people will know what they will need color wise. Okay, so I will be making because it's an ice cream cone, right? Cone, and we will need to make the color for that waffle cone. So I am using this like tan brown color, okay, and orange. And I know you think it's going to be a very weird combination, but I promise you that this will give you that biscuit color that you're looking for, okay? The orange is actually really bright, so it will help brighten up the brown, and when I mix it later, you'll see it. So for soft serve ice cream, okay, usually soft serve is white, so you would need a little bit of the white color. And then I am going to make like the regular scoop ice cream as well. So I am going to use purple, the lavender. They have been very, with scoop ice creams, you can really use any color because they have pretty much every color out there. I'm using purple, so lavender ice cream. But this is the color I'll be using today. If you have like mint color, you can do like chocolate mint, or the chocolate color, chocolate ice cream, coffee, whatever. So this one really, for the scoop ice cream, is really, you can choose many different types of colors, and really choose whatever is your favorite. All right, so I will start with mixing for the waffle cone. And so I'm going to take the brown and the orange, and I will start mixing them together. Okay, what you will need for this is this rolling pin. If you don't have a rolling pin, you can always use a glass bottle or any bottle that is smooth around the surface. Okay, so very simple. You just kind of lump them together like that. Okay, use the rolling pin and just roll it. And then again, you do this. Okay, and then I'm just what I'm doing is I'm rolling it like that, and then I'm just flattening it again. Basically, what I'm doing is just mixing the colors. So you can see that the colors are already starting to mix, and my brown is actually becoming a lot brighter. So it is the orangey, the orange is actually making the brown a lot brighter, and that kind of gives it the waffle color that you usually see. Now, my suggestion is you mix in a little bit of orange first. Don't mix in too much, all right? I used about, the amount of orange I used is about a quarter of the brown that I used. Okay, so the color will not be too bright. If you think the color is too bright or too orangey, then you add more brown into it. And then that will kind of course, make it a bit lighter again. Okay, so if you roll it and do it a few times, right, the color would have evenly mixed already. This is left over from the previous one, so I'm just going to mix it in. So then you just keep rolling it, and then the colors will be evenly mixed in. So if you do this repeatedly, okay, and then it will mix. So you can really play around with colors quite a bit. If you want something brighter, of course, use a bright color. So, but because I use orange, sometimes when we look at biscuits, there's a bit of orange tint in it. So yeah. Oh, hello everyone. Okay, I hope everyone's doing well this week. This week has been a long weekend, so we can. I enjoyed my Friday a lot yesterday. I'm glad that I didn't have to go into work. And now I actually tried. I went to USS yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. It was very different. There are a lot of different. It was very different from last time. I think a lot of things have changed because of the current situation. You know, they try not to gather too many people in one area and things like that. But it was still a lot of fun. It was nice to get out and kind of just walk around and see breathe fresh air again, you know, and just take a look outside. Okay, so I am done with my waffle cone color very fast. Okay, so this is finished. So now what I'm going to do, we are going to make the waffle cone. Today's going to be very simple and very fast. Okay, so before that, I always keep my countertop clean. You don't want anything mixing together. If there's any questions for those that just came in, if there's any questions, please feel free to ask and you know, type in your questions in the comment section, and I will definitely answer it. Okay. So today I am making ice cream cone and soft serve, and that I really like. Oh, I really crave ice cream actually. It's been a while since I ate ice cream. 1 week ago, I remember. I ate it about 1 week ago. So every time when I'm making things like that, right, I really want to eat. It's just like I want to eat the thing I'm making. Okay, so now this is the cone, right? What I did was I rolled it into a ball just now, and then I kind of flattened it a little. And now I'm just going to use the rolling pin again, or whatever that you have on hand, and I'm just going to roll it into a flatter circle. Okay, a little bit flat. You don't want to make it too thin, all right? Because if you make your cone too thin later, right, it will become very, very hard to handle. And then you also want to determine how big your cone is going to be. So I have a suggestion also. If you have a cookie cutter, that would be great. If you don't, that's okay. You can always use like a bottle cap or a lid or a round lid or something. A small one. I think this one is maybe closer to a bottle cap size. Okay, so you can always just place it on top of the clay that you rolled out, and then just cut around it or press it down, you know, to kind of get the shape. All right. So why I'm doing this is because I want to make it even. I want to make the size even. I'm going to be making 2 different types of ice cream cones. So I do want the cone, or at least I want it to be of similar size. Okay, like I said earlier, you don't want to make your cone too thin, because when you are handling it later, it will become very, very hard to handle. So this one actually has become too thin already. So I will actually, I'm going to reshape it again. Okay. And then I'm just going to flatten it. So basically, right, I'm going to use a cookie cutter to cut out the size. Just now, this one earlier I had used was a little bit too small because one circle is going to make 2 cones for me. Okay, so I'm going to use something that's slightly bigger, all right? So I'm sure you have a lot of lids lying around the house. You just need to go and find whichever one is the right size for you, okay? So this one is a good size, so I'll use this. All right, and this one is, okay. Just going to flatten it out a little bit more. And this is good. Okay. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add the pattern of the waffle cone. So the pattern of the waffle cone, right? I actually found this, I have lying around the house. And then it has this like pattern on it. Really see what you have lying around in the house and you can use it. Bubble wrap, I think works pretty well. But it's just that bubble wrap then instead of the diamond shape that you get on the cones, it'll become like circular shape. But there's a lot of things around the house. I thought about like those nets that we have and things like that. You know, or you can leave it smooth, totally up to you. Okay, but I just like to add a bit of pattern because it makes it a little bit more authentic, if that's the correct word. Okay, so if you can see it, I'm not sure if you can, but yeah, so this is the, okay, my husband's asking me to move closer. This is how it's supposed to close. Okay, this is supposed to be the, this is the shape that I would get, okay, for the cone. And then I am now going to cut this in half. And this will, at least she just asked her helper to go buy ice cream for her. So funny. This is what I got. Maybe later I'll ask Opa to buy ice cream for me also. But okay, so now with this, for the cone, right, I'm going to cut this in half. So this is not a perfect circle, but it's completely fine. It's okay. Because if, for a lot of the waffle cones when we eat ice cream out there, right, you can tell that they just, the shape is not perfectly round. Some of them, you know, the ends are a bit jagged and things like that. So it is completely fine if it's not a perfect circle. Of course, you can take your cookie cutter again and then, or the lid again, and kind of cut it into a perfect circle if that's what you want. But I am, I'm okay. I don't really, for me, this is fine. So I will cut it into half. Okay, and then this will make 2 cones for me. Okay, so I will show you how I make the cone now. Very simple. So the straight edge where you cut it into half, right? You use this straight edge as the bottom. So you will be folding it this way. You make it into a cone shape, like that. Okay? So depending on how long this circumference, if it's shorter, then of course your cone will be not as wide as this. The cone will be a little bit smaller, the circle, okay? But if this portion here is actually longer and wider, then your cone, the hole on top will actually be wider. So you kind of see what length you want, okay? Okay, so this is one, as you can tell, this is one cone already. So one is done. All right. So then now I'm going to make the other one. And then I'm just going to make a cone shape basically. And there you have it. Okay, so I'm done with 2 of approximately the same size, the cones. Okay, they are about the same size. So I'm done with 2 cones. Okay, so our cones are done. We just put it aside. And then I'm going to clean again because now I'm going to be working with the white clay. Okay, so I'm going to clean the countertop. You always want to do this because clay before it's baked is really sticky, and you know it can really pick up dust and the other colors of the clay that you're working with, and then on white it will be very obvious. So you just want to make sure that your working tabletop is very, very clean. Okay, now I'm going to be using the white. I am making the soft serve ice cream. All right. Oh, Alice said she will check the toolbox and screwdriver handle to see if. Actually, that's a very good idea. To see if there's any of that kind of pattern. You know, I know if you have like wire mesh or some kind of mesh lying around, that will really work very well. Also, so I was thinking about using the laundry bag, the mesh bag that we put. And I think that could really work, but I found this instead, so I just thought this would be easier instead of cutting up the laundry mesh bag. I think Opa would not appreciate that very much. But yeah, there's really a lot of things lying around the house that you can kind of make use of. You don't have to specifically go buy stuff. If not, you can just leave it smooth, like plain. There are cones out there that have no patterns on it, so you can just leave it completely plain too. So for white, right, we are going to roll it into a long tube. Okay, because for soft serve, if you already know it, when they serve it, you know, they swirl it up this way. So we are going to do that also. So we're going to roll it into a long tube. So I will start from one side and then I'll move to the other end. Okay, this will make sure that my the size of it is more or less even. All right. So then I'll just keep doing it this way, and then I'll just keep lengthening. It's also easier to handle if you go from one end to the other. Okay. If you have any questions, you know, please feel free to ask, and I will answer. Oh, Alice did say Alice had a very good suggestion too. She said that her file, I think the toolbox, they have those file to file wood and stuff. It does have the pattern as well, so you can totally use that to create the pattern on your clay. All right. So when I think that this is kind of long enough, then I will start using this to do the ice cream swirl. Okay, so for this, right, you just want to make sure whether you want it thick or thin. And actually right now, I think I made my tube too thin, so I don't really like it. So I'm going to do it again, okay? Because my cone is a little bit on the larger side. It's a little bit big. So I just want to make sure that the ice cream that I put in will be will match the size of the cone. Okay, so I'm going to cut a bit more white. I actually didn't use very much white. I used a very thin piece of it. Okay, and then because the bracelet charms I'm planning to make, I don't plan to make it really large. I mean, I'm going to wear like a few of them together, so I don't want to make it too big, or else it will look really chunky on the hand too, okay? And then I'm going to roll it out again in the same method. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask, and then I will or type it in the comment section, all right? Yeah, so recently, like I was saying, I went to yesterday at USS. There was a lot of food that I hadn't eaten in a long time. A lot of junk food actually. So when you go to places like that, you know, a lot of times it's like you eat fast food, burgers and things like that. Actually it was not too bad. We had a lot of fun. And if you're planning to go somewhere or do something over a weekend, I would think that I would say that it's not too bad of a place to go to. You know, there are not a lot of people. It's somewhere different that you can walk, you know, and kind of relax and spend some time with your family. So and to do something fun as well. Okay, so I'm done, okay, with this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one end and then I am going to swirl it in this way, like uh, how you would see a soft serve on top of the cone. Okay, most of the time, right, I will try and go a little bit outside the circumference of the top of the cone. Because if you see ice cream, right, it never just like, it does sit inside as well, but you know the very nice looking ice creams are the ones that tend to overflow out of the cone. And I think those are the ones that are nice. So I start with the inside first, just exactly like when they fill an ice cream, they will fill it in the hole in the middle, okay? And then I kind of go out this way, so it's actually easier to build the soft serve this way, okay? And then you kind of lap it on top, and then you make smaller circles as you go up, okay? And then as you get to the top this way, and then you kind of give it a little twist this way. Okay, wow, I actually made one that is just the exact size. Okay, so to do the tip, right, usually what I do is I kind of just pinch it out a little and I kind of give it a tug, okay, a pull, so that it will have this sharp tip at the end. And then I kind of tug and swirl, because usually for soft serve ice creams, the tip is usually like when after they are done, they will actually like pull it up, so you have this sharp tip. So that's what I'm trying to recreate as well. So this is the soft serve ice cream. It's done already. Very fast and very quick, okay? You know, it's really up to you. Of course, you can do something that's higher if you want. So you just need to make sure that your clay is longer and then you swirl it a little bit higher. If not, I'm quite satisfied with this. If I make it any longer, my charm will be very, very big. All right. So this is the soft serve ice cream. Outside the cone, then drop on. Oh, usually when, yeah, true, when it melts, it's very hot in Singapore, so it tends to melt and all the. But that's the beauty of eating ice cream, right? It's then like it just drips everywhere and then it's a mess. It's usually not a very neat situation when we're eating ice cream, but that's what makes ice cream tasty. It's one of the things that makes ice cream tasty. Okay, the next one I'm going to do will be the ice cream, the regular ice cream scoop. Okay, so I have purple color. It's going to be lavender flavored ice cream. If you have mint color, you can always do like a chocolate mint chip. Chocolate, there is coffee flavor, bubble gum, lots of colors, okay, chocolate scoop. So why I like chocolate scoop is because I can use a ton of different colors, and I can come up with whatever flavor of ice cream I want, and I can also mix a ton of different colors as well. So you can have like double scoop ice cream instead of single scoop ice cream and things like that. Okay, so basically I am rolling it into a round ball because ice cream scoop, it is round. So before that, I will clean that up. Okay, and then after rolling this into a round ball, I'm going to place it on top. Okay, I'm going to press it a little bit just to flatten it a bit. Okay, what I'm going to do, right? Satay stick. Okay, I just like to use things that are lying around the house. So when I take the satay stick, I'm going to press the sides. Because usually ice cream scoop, right, it's round on top, and then where they scoop at the bottom, it kind of has like ice cream sticking out at the side. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of creating that side. Okay, so towards the bottom of the ice cream, I'm actually just pressing out some clay, okay, to kind of what's that? Kind of imitate that kind of like when you scoop ice cream, is round on top and then a little bit spilling out at the sides. So I'm using the satay stick and I'm actually pressing down on the ice cream, on the clay at the bottom to kind of create that feet. Okay, I know right now it doesn't really look very similar to it, but that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. And then I'm gonna take toothbrush. If you have two old toothbrush lying in the house, right, you can use this. Oh, Audrey is asking, okay, yeah. And then you kind of, before I answer Audrey's question, I saw your question though. Okay, but I'm going to take a toothbrush, an old toothbrush I have lying around, and then I will just kind of pat it, okay, and do this to create the pattern of and I'll show you later when it's closer. I'll bring it closer to the camera too. But I'm going to use the toothbrush to the bristles of the toothbrush to kind of dab on the sides of the ice cream. Okay, and then it's going to create that pattern that you usually see in a scoop ice cream. All right, so I'll just go one round. And then, okay, this is done. So I can use, if you feel like you want the pattern to come out more, then of course you use more force. You know, you press your toothbrush a little bit harder around the bottom of the ice cream. Okay, so you can see it kind of creates this pattern. Am I too close? Okay, so it creates this pattern, and that's usually how like the ice cream looks like at the side on the bottom. Okay, for the top, if you think it's too small, lightly, right? Lightly just press the toothbrush, just very lightly. Okay, because it is smoother than the sides, the bottom. Okay, usually it's like that. And then the ice cream scoop is done. Okay. Okay, so back to Audrey's question, whether I can do laksa and satay bihun. Oh, I have to look up. I definitely have to research on how to do that, okay? Because it has sauce, and the sauce part will be a little bit difficult to make because that is liquid polymer, which is very different from the clay polymer that I'm using now. So I have to experiment with it. If it's successful, Audrey, I will definitely make maybe satay bihun first. I think laksa bihun, the color of laksa will be a bit hard for me to replicate as a first project. Okay? Alright, so now this is the easy part. I'm just going to plop this on top of the cone. Like how they do the ice cream scoop, you know, they put it on top of the cone, same thing. I am just going to fix it on top of the cone this way. I'm just going to press it down a little bit so that I know it fixes onto the cone. And then if there's some of my fingerprints on top, then I kind of just use the toothbrush to lightly dab at it to get rid of my fingerprints, of course, and then to kind of create that texture of ice cream scoop. And then that's done. This is the scoop ice cream. Okay. If you want, what you can do is you can get another color and then of course add another layer of scoop ice cream. But I'm not going to do that today. Okay, but it's very simple how you replicate it. Same thing. You just take another, do the same steps again. Roll it in a ball. Use the satay stick, press down the side. Press the, you know, use the toothbrush to kind of create the texture, and then you just plop it on top of this round ice cream. Okay, exactly the same when you're scooping regular ice cream and then putting it onto a cone. It's the same way. All right. So now my two different types of ice cream are done. I have my soft serve ice cream and my ice cream scoop. Okay. In order to make it into a charm, I have to add my metal. I have to add these, okay? So these ones are the ones that allow me to attach it to the bracelet itself. It's completely made out of metal, so it's fine. You can bake it together with the, you can put it in the oven, so you can bake it together with clay. All right? So basically what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fold the bottom a little. Okay, so that it will create this, this end is to make sure that it doesn't just slide out of the clay once it's done baking. So this is why I'm folding it here, so that it gives a better grip. They call it like mechanical binding to the clay itself. So I'm just going to add this to the clay, and then I'll send the whole thing in for baking. All right, so this is for the soft serve. Okay, what I usually like to do, because you can see the tip that is sticking out a bit, right? I actually like to hide this behind that. So I'm going to stick it down the middle this way, okay? You can see that. And then I'm just going to stick it in and hide it behind this metal clay here. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure that it sits nicely over there. And then when I attach it, right, it's not very obvious. This one, no choice, it will be a bit obvious because there's nowhere to hide it, but that is okay. It is fine. All right. So we just use this. Hang on now. Fold the bottom. Okay. And then I'm going to add this to my ice cream scoop on top. Just go put it in the middle this way, because when I hang it off my bracelet, I'm going to attach it from here. And then this is also finished. All right, so this is the two ice cream that I'm showing today. Then I'll show you the ones that I've already done. Okay, so these are the ones that I've already done. The ice cream cone, the soft serve, and then I did pink for my ice cream scoop. So the pink one is bubblegum flavor. So I'm really using whatever, you know, I'm just really using whatever color, because ice cream scoop, you know, you have all the colors, right? So this one, I will be making it into the into earrings, because I already have the other two that I've done that will be for baking. So I will show you how I attach the earrings. All right, it's going to be dangling earrings. So I have two of these ear hooks here. And then I'll take my round nose pliers. So this one, these are round nose pliers. Okay. Just going to open the hook a little. And then I'm just going, so this is why I attached the metal thing earlier on, okay? I can just kind of loop it through there and then close it. And then that's that. Okay, so that's one side done already for the earrings. Okay, so this is the earrings for one side. Actually, yeah. And then for the other side, same thing. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask, you know. I got most of my materials from Art Friends, if that's what some of the questions some of you might have. Okay, it's just clay. A lot of the things that I use to create the textures are just find whatever's like in the house. I don't believe in buying what I don't really need. So these are just some of the things. I like to reuse some of the things that I have at home. Okay. Yeah, so this is the ice cream. This is the ice cream scoop. And that one's done too. So I have a pair of ice cream earrings, okay, that I have done. All right, so this is the pair. And then I am going to, oh, Opa, can you take the donuts on me, please? Thank you. So maybe just to show you what I've done so far for a project. So last week, I did the donut earrings, right? These are the donut earrings. And then together with now I have ice cream. I have ice cream earrings, okay. And then I'm going to the donut charms, okay. These are the charms for the donuts, the bracelet charm. And then these are going to be added. So my bracelet is going to look very, very sweet. Okay, but definitely stay tuned, you know, because next week I'm going to make cupcakes. And that will be added to the sweet series. If you have any comments, you know, you want me to try and make, now it's Western food, okay? So the Western sweets, right, like waffles, ooh, waffles are a good idea too. And things like that, we can, I'm going to try and do that too and add it to a charm bracelet. If you have any suggestions, please do drop me a private message or let me know, you know, what you would like to see me make, and I'll happily try and do that. Okay, I'm always open to any new ideas that anyone has. But in the meantime, I hope everyone, you know, kind of stay safe and go out, enjoy the weather, of course. Observe your safe distancing. Okay, but and then I'll see all of you next week again. So thank you. Bye bye.